Good evening, namaste, or adab. Welcome to our Ask the Master series. And today we have with us Tapan Sheth, a Gujarat based businessman who is also a hardcore wildlife photographer by heart. He has explored gear like none other and he has awarded for the same so many times. His work has been published in Nat Geo and BBC, and he was the wildlife winner of the Nature's Best Photography Asia 2016. So let's meet Tapan. Hello, Tapan. A very good evening to you.
Hi Shweta, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Am I audible right now?
Yeah, perfectly, perfectly. And thank you so much, sir, for gracing our platform, for taking out time for our show as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me and thank you for this time.
We are, astounded. We are astonished. We are, in awe of these pictures that you have always, clicked and you have posted there on your Insta profile. We can see them all over there on Google, on Nat Geo, and everywhere. And it's really a great pleasure to see that. And it somewhere gives us, a sense of pride also. And of course, we get a little scared also thinking that how you must have clicked the pictures. It's a, big thing that you have been doing all these years. So really hats off to you for doing that. And we have so many questions and so many, curiosities are there inside us that we want to share with you. We want to ask you. So may I please start my first question?
Sure. Thank you very much. Like the appreciations from the people like you motivate me to getting good clicks. So yeah, you can go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, the first thing that I want to know is that how and when did you decide to become a wildlife photographer?
Like it's never been like in like my courses or something like that I have decided. Like I never decided that was not my agenda to be a wildlife photographer. Like I think I bought my first DSLR only for my family trips. Like
Okay,
even before that, I got a that cyber shot kind of a camera. So
right,
at that time, like there was no enough zoom or no picture quality or kind of a thing with those cameras. So I inquired
right.
with people, and they like suggested me there is a camera like DSLR or something which you can buy for. And yeah, with that camera, I went for the gear. That was my first ever family trip. Like and when I see those majestic animals and like I click with them, like I have a basic camera and basic lenses at that time, and after clicking them, when I saw the result, and like I was I I almost struck by like those images and all those things. So
Right.
I mean like with that only I like I getting interested into the photography, and then gradually I tried a different kind of photography like bird photography, macro photography, and then
Okay.
I got more interested into the big cuts, and that is how my journey started.
That's wonderful, sir. And we can see, from there to now, you have achieved so much in your life. So that's really appreciable.
Yeah, it's almost a decade, you can say, almost a 10
Yeah,
years I have started, kind of a thing.
absolutely. And how difficult and risky is it to capture the animals that too in their habitat? I mean, the challenges that you face there at that particular time.
Like it's not risky kind of a thing. Like when you are capturing those animals, like
Okay,
if you are a wildlife photographer and you are capturing something, then I must say like you need to study more about those
right,
animals, like
absolutely.
habitat they are staying. Like every time someone asks me, so I must say that whenever you are visiting any kind of a park, then you gain the basic knowledge about those things. And like we are entering their territory, like they are not into our area or something. So like as much as we are responsible, or we are totally risk free until we
Yes,
poke or like we disturb them. So those things are not risky, I can say. But yeah, we have to be careful at the same time.
right. So you must be facing a lot of challenges also when you go there and click the picture. So any particular incident that you still remember?
Challenges in the sense like the wildlife photography, it's all about passion. Like you need
Yeah,
to put Like it's not like that you go into the park and you get the subject and you click them.
Right.
So the biggest challenge in the wildlife photography is patience, and the second thing is luck. You need to be, I can say you have to be on the right place at the right time,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that is the main thing which you can say. And challenges, I can say it's not like that, but again, it's a kind of a passion kind of a thing. You need to look after all those things. You have to wait for the animals, you have to study their behavior, and all these things matter. Like sometimes bad weather, kind of a road you have to climb up, or
Right.
you have a kind of a gears which are kilograms of weight, and you have to climb up a kind of a mountain, or you have to trek something to get rare animals or something like that.
Right. So that means a proper Reiki kind of a thing has to be there before clicking the pictures. So you observe the animals and do all that things first.
Exactly, like if you are going for a particular photograph, like I'm very much good at clicking lions, so I
Yeah.
have studying them over a period of a decade now. So like
Right.
you can guess a kind of a behavior about them when we are in field. Like if I can say big cats are there, so when either of big cat, either lion or leopard or tiger, when they lick their nose, then at that time it's a kind of a sign. Then they'll be yawning very soon. So you will be ready for a kind of a
Yes.
photograph. So behavior kind of a study and knowledge of that subject particular makes you more
That is required.
kind of a thing.
Right. Okay. And which has been your most difficult shoot till date?
Till date, I can say I've been to a place called Kabini where is a Black Panther is sighted always. Like, but
Okay.
I did a kind of 8 to 9 safaris, sorry, 8 to 9 trips over there. Until time, it's not in my luck. Like, it's still I'm looking for a Black Panther in Kabini. So it's the hardest time that Black Panther is giving me yet.
Right. 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 And sir, you won the Nature's Best Photography Asia Award in 2016. So how was that experience?
Like that was the kind of news which I got into the forest at that time. Like at that time I was in a trip to the Dang area. It's in the monsoons. Like I was on the photography trip, and like we didn't get a kind of a single network, mobile network over there. And
Okay.
we went into the kind of a stream. We were walking around and looking for some animals, and at that time I got a little bit of network, and I got a message from some of my fellow photographers. Like he said, congratulations. And I was surprised, like, why are you congratulating me? So he a screenshot which loaded after 3 4 hours, and at the time I came to know that I won this award. So kind of a thrilling
Wow.
experience for me. Like I
Yeah,
didn't.
absolutely. That's lovely. That's really great. And it really, makes you happier when your hard work is being paid for that, You must have, done a lot of hard work for clicking that particular picture and you were paid by, giving that acknowledgement to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's true. Like the picture which I have got at that time, that was the like we are using a high speed camera which clicks around 10 to 15 photographs a click. But at that time,
Right.
that particular picture, I got only 4 clicks of that particular lion, and it's a
Okay.
kind of the biggest thing for me. Like that picture was displayed in one of the biggest museum of world, like that's a Smithsonian Natural History Museum, and it was exhibited for 6 months of period over there.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's great. And so, how do you look at wildlife photography as a career? Any advice for those who are considering it as one?
See, this question is like, very often I got this question in most of the live or interviews. Like, but if you see the current scenario, like if you are making a career in wildlife photography, then like, getting a bread butter or getting a significant income from like photography, wildlife photography, it's
Right.
pretty difficult. Like if you are looking for like, running your bread butter or like a primary income from a live wildlife photography. So that's a kind of a pretty difficult thing in current
Okay.
scenario. Like there are lots of photographers. Like if you go for a photography, those equipments are bit costly, and like
Right.
more
Right.
or less getting income by selling photographs of wildlife photography, it's more difficult. Yeah, if you go for a kind of a researcher kind of a stuff, or getting educational stuff in wildlife photography. Like, keeping a photography as your secondary thing, and like
Yeah.
getting more knowledge about like a particular subject or environment kind of a thing, and moving ahead, it's a good opportunity on those things.
Yeah, even I'm sure the investment for the cameras and the way, the kind of equipment you use for that, that is also pretty expensive for everyone.
Exactly, like oftenly I got a question like, people always asking me like, which is the best camera, which is
Hmm.
the best lens to use in wildlife photography or kind of a
Right.
photography if you start. So my suggestion, or you can say my answer is, the best camera and lenses which you can afford. Like, it's not like
Right.
that. If I'm using a higher gears, I'll be getting the good pictures and all.
Hmm.
The best camera and lenses which you are affording, and you can go for those things. That is the best for you.
Right. Absolutely, sir. And what should be, the beginners should know when they go for their first shoot?
Like, there are certain things which you have to keep in mind. Like, if you are starting a wildlife photography, then don't run for everything. Like, if you have like many people's like, sir mere ko birds karna hai, I want to go for a big cats, I want to go for macro photography. So my advice is like, first develop your interest for the particular subject or particular genre of photography, then you
Right.
move forward. Like, if you want to go for a bird photography, then go for that. Like, if you want to for a macro photography, then go for that. And according to that, you can buy your devices, like you can upgrade your gears and all those things, and according to that you can visit the places that will help you a lot to grow your skills and kind of a photography.
Right, right, absolutely. And is this, the wildlife photography, is it possible throughout the year, or is it like a particular, months or days, or whenever, it's possible? Or can it be possible throughout the year?
See, wildlife and nature photography, it's like, when you step out of your home, like go to your backyard and you can click everything, like birds are there always. So it's not like that. If you can have a kind of a restriction for your wildlife photography throughout the year.
Okay.
But yeah, if you are looking for visiting a national park, which is in India or overseas, so they have a certain amount of time period. Like, they are for 6 months of time period they are open. Some of them
Okay,
open
right.
for years or something like that. So according to that, you can go for your or plan your photography trips. And otherwise, you can move around your outskirts of city area and you can search for the birds and animals. Like, we can get many of the birds and small animals like jackals, foxes, and all around outskirts of our cities. So you can go throughout the year also. There is no issue.
Any time of the day.
But make sure you can keep the safe distance and you don't disturb them, and you have a proper knowledge of all those things.
Absolutely. That's very important. And what, according to you, constitutes an unethical part of wildlife photography?
See, like, for this like answer, people getting me, I'm gonna hitting hard, but like, you are, when you are going alone for a photography, at that time you think like what is ethical and what not ethical, right? Like, if I'm
Right.
alone, like no one around me, and I'm clicking a bird or something like that, at that time I have to be like, stick to my ethic. Like, if I think like abhi koi nahi dekh raha, or may I can disturb the birds, or I can get good photograph. So
Yes, yes.
there is a very thin line about between all these things. So it's all about your ethics and what you need to follow.
Right, absolutely, sir. And any particular advice or suggestion you want to give to the audience regarding the wildlife photography?
See, the best thing about the wildlife photography, like everyone is talking about conservation and all. So try to, like, we are entering their park or their area, it's already a disturbance. So whenever you go into the park, keep the minimum pollution. Like, don't try to disturb them. Like, if I go for a bird photography, I make sure that, like, if I clicking a bird, if the bird fly from one place to another place, I do it for 3 times. Like, if the bird fly for 3 times, then I leave that bird. So I don't disturb kind
Right.
of a bird. So, getting a kind of habituate to don't disturb them, like, to follow the environment. and don't pollute. Like I have seen people they go to the park having the snacks and throwing wrapper arounds in the park, and so
Yes,
keep
absolutely.
things with you whenever you're in park, and keep the minimum
Right.
disturbance to those animals.
Yeah, one needs to be really responsible while entering a park or any other place.
Right.
Absolutely, sir. And we have seen your, wonderful pictures of capturing the majestic lions. Any other particular animal that you really, enjoy or gives you that adrenaline rush when you click the picture? Any other animal?
I am very much, fascinated about like pyramids, like orangutan, chimpanzee, gorilla. Those are in my wish list. I didn't click them because of the COVID. I was not able to travel to those area. Like we have
Right.
to outside the India to click those animals. But those are in my wish list. Like after lions, if I have to click them, then orangutan and silverback gorilla is my top biggest, like top wish list is at the moment. So I'll go for those things.
Okay. And can we know about your future plans as well? Anything big that you're planning or anything, big that we can expect coming up from you?
As of now, like I'll be looking more forward to the lions only. Like I have particular kind of shots or document kind of photograph which I'm still looking for. Some of the moment which I still need to capture. But yeah, there is nothing like big thing or that. But yeah, definitely I'll go for a kind of a profitable book of lions in future very soon. So which I can you know curate my some of the best photograph and can launch. Even I didn't do the
Yeah.
exhibition, my exhibition, which I can go for that.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's really wonderful, Tapan. And we really wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. And we hope that, we and our audience and everybody in the world see more and more pictures coming up from your camera, from your lens. So wish you all the best for
Thank
all
you,
your
Sweta.
future endeavors, and thank you so much for sparing your time, and thank you so much for giving us such wonderful advice, some wonderful suggestions.
Thank you, Sweta. Thank you for this time. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Tapan, and thank you to our audience who joined us today. Thank you so much, Tapan. Thank you. It was great having you on the show.